Hey everybody, welcome to the show. You know where you are, the 9 at 9 with me, Tigo. And you know it's a VIP day. And if you've been following the schedule, you know we're going to talk about finance today. Maybe a little bit. We're actually going to talk about legacy. And no, I am not talking about your shoe collection. Y'all going to have to sit right there. We'll be right back.
Hey mate, do you want to play with me? Yeah, I can't play right now. I'm doing show notes.
Hey everybody, yep, you heard me right. We're going to talk about, are you planning on leaving a legacy? Have you thought about it? Do you even, have you put your mind around it? Because I'll be honest, I didn't for the first 40 plus years of my life. Nobody left anything to me. So I didn't think I need to leave anything to anybody else. And that's just not right. So we brought in our expert, Robbie, and she's going to break it down for us. Robbie, are you out there?
Hey, Tigo, I'm here.
Welcome back. I'm so glad you come back. Okay. All right, hit me with it because I know you're about to lay some science today.
Yes.
Leaving a legacy.
Yes, leaving a legacy. So everyone, we it's part of our culture, and I bring it up. Leaving a legacy is, well, how much did they leave? What's in the will? If they even had one of those? Leaving a legacy is much more than that. It is like I like to say, it's not about the material things that you leave, because all of us can't leave material things. It's about the values and the principles and the things you leave inside of your family or even in your community that will allow them to continue to thrive through multiple generations. Pass it forward, passing things forward, the knowledge. And like our ancestors used to do, they used to tell the stories, they used to pass the values and the cultures forward. And we've kind of gotten away from that, and we turned it into materialism. But when you're leaving a legacy, it's like anything else. You have to have a plan. But there's really three components to looking at your legacy. One is your children. That's where the passing it forward and passing the knowledge, because you can leave them $1 million. But if they don't know how to manage their money, if you haven't taught them financial principle or exposed them to financial principles, then that money is going to be gone. You didn't work hard to leave something for them. They don't know how to manage it. So you're really doing them a disservice. And it starts even today in doing them a disservice. If you're not letting your children help you pay the bills, if you're taking them to the bank with you, having them understand, here's the survive. This is how much money is coming in. This is how much money we need to survive. If anything left over, let's talk about what that money will be used for. So you can choose between food and an Xbox. You have to make some choices. You have to start making them choose.
Not food and an Xbox.
Between the food and the Xbox. I can't do both. The lights or the iPhone. Okay. Ooh. You have to start presenting them with those choices, not decisions, those choices, so that you all can survive and teach your children. That's part of your legacy, because you're leaving a legacy whether you deliberately do it or not. Yeah. But are you leaving them a 40 legacy, working 40 days, for 40 hours a week, for 40 years of your life to live 40% of your income? Is that the legacy you want to leave? Or you want to leave them a legacy of how to build and grow wealth? Wealth is abundance. It's not about millionaires, billionaires. Unless that's what you want to be, then you plan to be that. But it's about how much abundance do you need to survive and live the life you desire and deserve. You have to teach that to your children. That's your first legacy. The second part of the legacy is estate planning. I've talked to people about a will. So this is what I like to say to the people. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to listen to the hospital sounds, the beeping and the beeping, but you can't speak, you can't move, and you hear this voice, and you're like, oh my God, what? Why are they there? What? And they tell the doctor, pull the damn plug. My question to you is, who do you not want that person to be? I would write down who I want to be responsible for me as an asset. Who's responsible for your children? You want them to go to Uncle Joe? Aunt Sally? I don't know. Who do you want your children to go to? Who do you want your money? Who do you want your pet to go to? Your doggy? Do you love your little doggy? Who you want them to go to?
Wow.
Some animal shelter? You have to write these things down. That's what an estate plan is. You write down who will be responsible for the things in your life that are of value. Don't worry about having a mansion and all that stuff. That's not an estate plan. An estate plan is what you own of value. And what do you want to happen to those things of value when you're not here or when you're incapacitated? So stop worrying about your wife laying up with the man and living off your money.
Because you know they are.
She probably laying up with the man while you're still alive. So why are you worried about that?
No, she didn't. Okay.
When you did, right? So
okay, that's a different show. That's a different show.
Quit worrying about stuff that you have no control over. Worry about the things you have control over. You can have the last word. You can say, well, you can still write it down and say, well, she get married within whatever. No, she can't get it until after she get divorced. You can tell exactly what you want to happen.
Wow.
If you don't want her to have, at least leave it for your kids or leave it for your church or leave it for your community. But leave it to somebody, right? So do an estate plan. And then the third is insurance. People. My grandma had a burial policy. Insurance nowadays is not about death, not just about death. It's about survival.
Okay.
Allowing you to survive if something happens to you. There's living benefit insurance now today, stuff they didn't have back in the day, right? And then it's about your family being able to survive. We got this little burial policy, $10,000, $20,000, they could bury me. Well, how are your kids going to eat? If you start and you get your insurance early enough, it's cheap. You can have $1 million policy to leave to your children so that they can thrive. That's the thriving part. Or even so they can survive. So we have
to I gotta ask.
Beyond leaving them some gym shoes or leaving them some money or leaving them the car.
I gotta ask, because a lot of people go through this point where, another part of legacy for me is information. I've been through a lot in my 58 years on this planet. I have a lot of information to share, but sometimes young people don't want to listen and they don't want to hear you, so you put the life insurance policy together, you do all of that, but they haven't listened. So they don't know how to use that. Going back to what you said last month, if you don't understand finance, if you don't know how to get out of your grind, if you don't know how to survive, then me leaving you $1 million, you're going to go out and buy, as my dad said, 5 cars, you got 1 butt. Exactly. You're going to go out and spend all this money and be broke in 2 years. Right. There's a reason why major sports organizations, professional players, literally over 90% of all professional players are broke within 4 years after play. Right. Because they don't understand finance. Right. One of the things that I had the privilege, because I spent a lot of time in Hong Kong and China, and you would, on a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon, you walk through the park and there's an elder there. Nobody knows who they are. They're just sitting there. And people of all sizes, races, ages came and would just sit as he would share or she would share their knowledge of their journey through life. We don't do that. We don't listen. So if we have the plan in place, but the missing piece is the information they wouldn't listen to get, how do you tackle that?
I've run into a lot of young people want to learn. They just don't know who to learn from. There's a lot. It's information. Actually, for the younger people, it's information overload. So when you get so many people telling you so many different things, you shut down, right? So the key is for them to be able to talk to someone. That's why it starts to a certain degree, within your family, people in your family that you trust. But as elders and the older generation, we have to take on that responsibility to teach the younger people. Because I talk to I have 6 millennials in my family.
Woo!
Trust me. And
your hair looks fabulous.
Because I don't let them stress me out. Because see, I'm ready. I got my plan and exit strategies and all that. I ain't worried about all that.
I hear you. I hear you.
Don't let them stress you out. But you have, because I educate. education. It's the financial education. And like I said, it's not really complicated. The whole accounting and economics and trigonometry and all that stuff has been clouding personal finance. That's not personal finance. That's corporate finance. Personal finance is add, subtract, multiply, and divide. If you can do that, you can manage your personal finances. Understanding a stock is not that complicated. Understanding a bond is not that complicated. I like to break it down to its infinite description so you can understand what it is and relate it to your everyday life. And that's part of it. Part of it is that some of the information is so up here that it doesn't relate. You can't relate. You have to bring it down to how they can relate to it. Like the choice between the Xbox and the food. Make a decision.
They can. And I can't think better place to stop because we're gonna get cut off. Right. I gotta thank you. You came on every month. You shared your knowledge. I hope you'll come back again because I mean, literally, you've been on 4 times now, and we still haven't gotten past the snow peak on this mountain of finance. And I want to thank you so much because I've learned a lot. And if you guys go watch them because you'll learn a lot too. I want to thank you so much for hanging out and talking.
And check out the show. Living Wealthy with Robbie is going to cover a lot of principles.
There you go. So tell them where to find your show.
Living Wealthy with Robbie on jd3tv.com, and it will cover each of the 7 principles, and I take deep dives into each one of them. So
that's amazing.
Not to know. You will know.
You're the best, Robbie. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I learned a lot.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, everybody. Now, if you want to know more, yes, I'll get her back. I promise. I'll get her back later in the year, maybe early part of 2023. We'll get her to come on and do another 3 months. But if you want to know more now, either go to Tigo Direct and send her a direct message. You know how this works. Or go to JD3 TV. Check out more episodes of Expert Talk. But check out more episodes of Miss Robbie's show too, and a lot more out there. I'm going to tell you, you want to know what's going on. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you'll come back next time. And as always, I'm Tigo. I'll talk to you next time. I got to write some more notes down. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.
All right. Awesome.
That was fun. Thank you so much for sharing that.